So in this session, we will create a delta table and we are going to see what will happen to the delta logs. What are delta logs? So we are going to deep dive into the internals of the delta table. So for that, let me create a new notebook and I'll call this as internal of delta. Okay, delta table. So now it is up to us, like whether you want to create a table managed or external. So let me just copy the same syntax what we have used yesterday. So I'll take a same syntax, and if I just copy this, so now we are going to create a delta table like what we have seen in the previous session. Same, we are creating a delta table. Now if we want to create a external table means all my metadata will be going to store in my path, or whatever path I am giving it, it will be going to store there. So just you need to give a keyword called location and you need to specify the path. So let me create an external table only because I want to store all my metadata for this table in my data lake. So I have a already created a link here. I have a path here. So let me just put a path here that is going to be in my SANLY storage account data lake raw container, and this is one of the directory there. So I am going to create a new directory here because I think we already created that file and we have some metadata already stored there. So if I run this, we may get an error, or what I'll do, I'll just say create table or replace. Instead of exist, I'll just say create or replace. I'll use this keyword and I'll try to execute this. So let us go to the, no, actually I missed it. So it is create or replace table. It is not create table. Yeah. So yeah, it should be in this way, create or replace table and your table name. So let me write it in this way, create or replace table name. Yeah, that was a syntax error. Yeah, I think this should work. So at the same time, let me go back to my storage account and see what is happening there. Okay, if I don't give a location, that becomes a managed table and all your metadata will be stored in your dbfs, so now I'm writing create or replace a table, database delta tables not found. Yeah, so we have not created this delta table database because we are using a community edition, so we lost that database. So let me create a database now. So you can just write create database, or you can write create schema, both will work. Create database, let me write a SQL here, create database, and you write a database name as a delta tables. Let me copy this and paste it here. Now one of the important thing here, suppose when you are creating a table and if you are working on your table, if you don't want to give this location every time, so when you are creating a database only, you can just create with a location so that all the metadata of this database and the tables inside this database can be stored in your specific location. So you can just write create database name, and just you can provide a location and give a path. So you can do in both ways. If you give a path here, this becomes an external database. Yeah, so now I'm creating a database with a specific location now. So let me go here, let me go with my SANLY storage account, and in that let me go for the container. Let me go for the container, and inside this container I have a raw container. I have an external or delta tables external. So let me go here, and while creating a database, while creating a database, I'll use a location dbfs mnt, this one external tables. So I'll not call this an external delta table. I'll call this as my delta database. Now let me execute this. So inside a raw container, you should get a new directory that should have a delta database. Let me run this and check. Yeah, you got okay here. So now let me go back and just have a quick refresh here. And now you can see you got a metadata related to that database in a name of in the name of delta database. Okay, delta database. So now let me go back. Now I'm creating a table in the database called delta tables dot table name. Yeah, so I'll just remove this location now, because when I have created a delta table, I am just giving a database name dot table name. So obviously this table goes into the same database or same schema. Let me execute this. So your people 20M will be registered inside this database. So let me go back on the raw container here and do a quick refresh. Okay, let us wait till it executes. Yeah, let me come here. Inside a delta database, you will have a table that is called people 20M. In that table, you will have your delta logs. Now if I just check what is the describe for this table, like I want to check whether this is a managed table or an external table, so you can just write SQL and write describe extended and just pass the table name. So you will get this as a managed table. You can see here, just scroll down. Yeah, this is your managed table, because the reason is we have not specified any location here, so that is your managed table. Now what is happening here, this is a provider as delta, as we have discussed. If you are not specifying any, like using Parquet or using delta, by default it will be your delta table only. So you can go back in that people 20 table, you will have a delta log. So now today we are going to talk about the internals of the delta log. So when I talk about internals of the delta log, when you are creating a delta table, every time you get some log files. So we are going to talk about the log files. Whenever you are creating a delta table, there is some log files created there. So there are three types of log files there that is created. First is your JSON file. JSON, it is a transactional file. So every transaction you do on your table, it will create a JSON file and it will create one CRC file. CRC stands for cyclic redundant check, and it will create one Parquet checkpoint. So I'm talking about the Parquet checkpoint file. I'm talking about the logs. Apart from these logs, when you are creating a delta table, you will create a Parquet file for for every transactions or I'll just call operation. Okay, for every operation you will create a Parquet file. So what is happening here, when you get a delta table, every operation there will be one Parquet file and there will be logs. There are three types of logs: JSON, CRC and Parquet. Let me go back to my Azure. I have created an external. Here there is people 20M. Inside that table I got delta logs. So if I click on this, I got some JSON file and one CRC file. These are actually 20 zeros dot CRC, 20 zeros dot JSON. Okay, and there is no Parquet file. There is still no Parquet file and there is no checkpoint file also. Now let me start inserting the value inside this table. So I'll just insert into this table with few records. Okay, I have already done it, so maybe I'll just copy it. Yesterday's session I have done it. So let me copy this to save some time. Yeah, so here I'll put it. Sorry. Yeah. So if I run this, let us see what happens here. Okay, just a minute. I need to change the table name. Yeah. So we are doing one operation, and let us see what happened here. If you go back to my ADLS and see what is happening here, just go back. Now you got one Parquet file. So I can say that this Parquet file is holding your one record. So this one record is holded in this Parquet file, and inside the logs there are again one CRC and one JSON created for you. Okay. So now I am very much interested in this JSON file. What is there inside this JSON? Can I see it? Yes, you can see it. For that, you need to have a path for that JSON file. How to fetch the path? You just need to write %fsls, and it should be your mount point. Inside a mount point, we have this path. So I can just take this path and copy this. Yeah, so without wasting much time, I'll just put this here and execute. Yeah, you can see I want dbfs mount inside that sanly raw delta tables. Let me run this. I should get in delta tables, I should get people 20m. Yeah, people 20m. Let me copy this, and I wanted a JSON files link. Okay, so inside that I'll go in the delta lake, in the delta logs, and let us see what is there. Here we get some JSONs and CRCs. What is there in that JSON? Like I'll pick this path, and I'll start to show you. So I'll just write %fs, and I'll use a keyword called head, and I'll paste the .json file here. Okay, .json, and let us see what you can get here. So it is showing you the commit information, at what timestamp, who has run this, what was his name, and what I am very much interested into is your operation, that is create. So you are creating this table, or you are written as create or replace operation. And when you are talking about 00 JSON, there is one Parquet file, and I cannot see any Parquet file here because there is no data sitting on that Parquet. But let me copy this and make it one here. You will get to see the difference between the JSON of 0 and 1. Now you can see here the operation is right, so we are inserting one record, and you can see one additional data. It is showing add, and it is showing you the Parquet file. So if you look at and verify, this Parquet file is nothing but the Parquet file what it has got created. You can just verify it is fe33 something like that. Here you can see fe33 and so on. It is a Parquet file. So what I'm trying to explain, guys, every transaction you are getting one Parquet file. That Parquet file is attached or linked to this JSON file. So now let me do few more inserts now. Let me do few more inserts. I'll do some inserts, some deletes and so on, some updates. Let me do some inserts. I'll go here. Now I'll just put 2 here, and let me copy this. I'm just using an insert. Okay, I'll just show you the difference. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'll take the ID3, ID4. Okay, with same ID also it works, no worries. Let me do it here. Yeah, I'll keep it ID as 1. Okay, let me run this. So yeah, I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 inserts. I'll come here, and you will be surprised to see there will be 5 Parquet files now. Oh, just a second. Yeah, let us go back. Now it has successfully executed. Let us go back here, and here you can see. So here you can see you got 5 part files, that is first record, second record, third record, fourth record, fifth record. respective part files, you will get the logs. You can see first JSON is your create table, second JSON is write. So you are getting respective JSONs in the similar way. So now what is happening here? You can see what is happening. Let me go back and just write person SQL and just write describe. Hey, can you please describe me the history of the table? Describe history of the table. History of this table. The table name is this one. Let me copy this. Okay, we need to keep a very close eye on this history. So if I just run this, let us see what is happening here. You should get a version, you should get a timestamp, and it will give you all the details. Yeah, you can see, hey, zero version is creating a table, first version, second version, third, fourth, fifth is all right. Who has written it? What is his username? At what time he has done? And if you just scroll down, you get all the details on which notebook, which cluster, all the details is shown here. Okay, now everything look fine. Now you might say that, okay, if there are millions of file coming in, will you get million parquet files? Yeah, every insert will give you a part file. What I'll do now, I'll just copy this, don't worry, I'll just copy this and I'll write a SQL and I'll just try to insert multiple records in one insert. Okay, we will do that. So let me copy this, paste it here, put something odd numbers 1, paste it again, comma, let me do it again. I'll just put some odd numbers 11 to just differentiate. Yeah, let me put it 15. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Okay, let me put one more record. Let me put one more record. Yeah, so understanding these delta logs and these all things are very important. Actually, I'm just copying. Yeah, actually, I'm copying the same data. Actually, we should have taken the different example, but no worries. Let me execute this. Now I'm inserting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 couple of records inside only one insert. Now this will be very much interesting here. So you got 5 rows affected. So if you just go back to your Azure and just go back to your Delta Parquet files and let us count how many part files you are getting. One, creating table, not inserting first record, 2, 3, 4, 5, creating 4 inserts, and this insert will hold you 5 records in that. So you're getting only one part file. Similarly, if you go inside a delta log, you will be getting only one CRC and JSON. If you check what is there inside this there will be 5 records that are inserted. So now check let me check the table where exactly like how it looks. Write a SQL, select star from the table name. From the table, let me copy this and paste it here. Let me run this. So it will give you the latest version. Obviously it may have one record, then 4, then 5, maybe 10, 11 records if I'm not wrong. Let us check. Yeah, 10 records. Let me sort it. You can see 1 1 2 3 4 and then 10, 11, 15, 16, 16 and so on. Okay, I hope everything looks fine now. If I just go and run the history again, I'll do it in the next line because we will be seeing the difference there. Here we got till 5 versions, that was right. Now let us see what happens here. Yeah, we are getting the 6th version, that is again a right, but in that there are 4 5 I mean 4 to 5 records in that. That how to find out that? Here you can see, hey, number of files is 1, how many rows you have inserted, that there are 5 rows here. Okay, we are getting this, we are getting all metadata here. Now let me go back and do some odd thing here. Let me do some updates here. Let me do some updates. Now that is interesting. Just think, just try to think, if I start updating it, what will happen to the part files? Will you create a new part file, or will you uh, what will happen to JSON files? You need to think on that. And if you remember, if I just scroll up and I said that, hey, there are 3 logs created, three logs. Now you might ask me like, where is the Parquet file inside the log? There is no Parquet file yet. Yeah, I'll come to that point. So just scroll, let me scroll down and let me start updating it. So let me write SQL here. I'll write update table name. Let me set the value. Let me see the table here. Um, Let me set value salary equal to salary plus triple one, something like that, where your id equal to 1. Okay, yeah. Yeah, now I'm updating where ID equal to 1, you will be getting a new salary here. So it is an update operation. Now let me quickly check the table. I'll run this command again now. Here, I'll run this here again. So you can see the number of rows affected. The stats is showing that there are 2 rows that got affected. And you can see the salary has been increased for ID 1. You may get something odd value there. And let me run this also to see the results here. Yeah, so you're getting, let me sort this. Yeah, you're getting some values. Salary has been increased for id 1. Now let me use the history command to check what are the versions there, what has happened there. So you should get a 7th version, that is your update. So if you just go back and here you can check the details here. So what is happening here, number of removed files are 2, number of added files are 2, number of updated rows are 2 again. So if I just go back to the Parquet files, let us first go back to Parquet file and check. So you can see one first record, second, third, fourth, fifth record, and again we have, so here you can see you got 7 versions. So similarly here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got one more extra version there because that is of update. So let me go back into the Delta logs and just try to understand. Here we got 7 plus the 0, 1. So 8 JSON files. One is for creating table and for all others you have write and you have update also. Now let us do something interesting here. Now let us start deleting it. Let us delete one of the record here. So let me check. I'll just delete a record which is having an ID maybe 15 or 16. Okay, so let me write it here. Delete yeah, I'm just taking ID equal to 16. Yeah, so delete from the table name where where your id is equal to 16. Okay, let me execute this. So you should get number of rows affected or deleted are 2 or something like that. Yeah, so number of rows affected are 2. Now I'll ask you one question. So if you remember why I have picked 16, the reason is 16 we have inserted with this insert. You can see insert, I have inserted 16 two times here and I am dropping this record, that is 16. Now you might just think on what is happening to that part file or what is happening to that JSON file. Will it drop and create a new JSON or a new Parquet, or will it stay there and create a new JSON? What is happening to that part files? What is happening to that JSON file? You should start thinking on that. We'll come to that point. We will come to that point. Now if I just run the history again, you should get a new version, and that will have a 8th version, and it shows that there are some files that has deleted. You can see there are some files 8th version, that is your delete operation. So it can be your write, delete, it can be update, merge, anything. Whatever you do, everything will be stored here, and every transaction will create a log files for you. So let me just refresh this. Let me just refresh this. Yeah, you are getting a 8th JSON file also. Now, before I show you what is happening there when you do update, delete, and all those things, I would like to do some more thing here. I want to delete few more records to see how interesting it would be. So I'll pick a file where I'll be deleting where your ID is 3. ID is 3. Let me delete this, and let me run this. So just you will create one more version, that operation will be delete. Let me go back to your raw container. Here we have 8 JSONs. Now let us see what happens here. If I refresh this, you are getting ninth JSON. You are getting 9 JSON. Similarly, if you check what is there inside this JSON, there will be one part file that will be deleted or removed. It depends on which ID you are deleting, which ID is deleting. So if you remember, ID 3 we have inserted with one insert. So if you are thinking like, yeah, you can see I have deleted this. If you are thinking like, okay, I have deleted it, so respective part file, the third part file will get deleted. The answer is no, it won't get deleted, or don't get removed. Now there is some period for this, that unused files will be deleted, but there is some period for that. We are going to talk that in an advanced point. Like we will see what is your vacuum command, how to optimize. We are going to see that. Now let me do one more operation here. Let me do one more operation. So maybe I'll update now. Let me take this and I'll run this again, and where I'll say ID equal to 2, and I'll take some other value 222, and let me run this. Okay, last operation. Let me run this. Yeah, I'm updating it, and obviously now you get a new version and it will be an update version and so on. But what I am interested into the delta log, I want to show you what will happen in the delta log. Yeah, so you got one row. Now let me go back to delta log, have a quick refresh here, and now guys you can see what is happening here. So you got a 10th JSON, 10th CRC. So what I'm trying to say, after every 10 JSON there will be one checkpoint created. After every 10 JSONs, after every 10 operations, there will be one checkpoint created. Now I am very much interested in this. Can you please show me what is there inside this checkpoint? Let me copy the path. Come to this table here. Let me come here. So it is a Parquet file. Let me start create a data frame. Data frame equal to, I'll just say spark dot read dot Parquet and specify the path. Oh, this is not a correct path actually. Uh, just let me go back. Mm. Yeah, this should be the correct path. dbfs and all those things in the delta logs. In the delta logs I am picking up a checkpoint that should work now. Let me write it here. dbfs, I miss dbfs delta logs, and I want a checkpoint. Let me run this. I'm going to display df now. Okay, I'm creating a data frame. Now you can see I have done few deletes. To just verify you, I have done some deletes, some inserts, some updates. Now let us go back and see what is happening for that checkpoint. You can see in the checkpoint there are some transactions here. There is an add column, there is a remove column, and there is a metadata column, and there is one protocol column. So the interesting thing is in these two columns. So if I just, okay, before I explain, give me 1 second. I'll just run SQL. Let me see how my table looks now. So let's start from your table name. Your table name is this one. Let me copy this, and let me run this. You should see how many rows are there. Let us check. Yeah, we got 7 rows here. So before that we got 10 records, and we have done some updates and so on. Now you can see in the add, if I just filter out, so we are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 ads, and in the remove you can see you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So adding these two, you are getting your resultant. So if you just look carefully inside this metadata, give me 1 second. Yeah, inside this metadata, you will get to know what is happening here. So this is your Parquet file, and if you look at what is there inside the Parquet file, it is holding you id 4. If you just come here, it is holding your id 2. So id 4, id 2 is not deleted or not updated anything, or it is not deleted. Id 1 is also there, and id 10. So what I'm trying to say, every Parquet file or this transaction, this checkpoint Parquet file will hold all the resultant of 10 JSONs, and you can see all the resultant in this checkpoint. Whenever you are calling your table, after that it will be the resultant of this checkpoint Parquet file, and it will proceed. Because of these all delta logs, this is because of these all JSONs and this Parquet file, it is possible to go and do a time travel. And we have the history here. So let me go back, just give me 1 second. Let me run this command again, describe history. Because of this history, we can go back and look at the table also, like what was my previous version. You can go time travel back. So you can see we got 11 records inside this version, that is your 10th version, that is update. Now if I just want to go back and see the 6th version, so how can I do that? So I can go and do a time travel. That is one of the key beautiful and key feature of this delta. So let me write simple select. The way we do it, select star from your table name, and just you need to write a command like this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, select star from table name, version as of 6. That's it, version as of 6. And if I run now, you will be able to see that in the 6th version it was just a write, and we will get only those create table, and we get only that 4 5 records and so on. You can see this. And if you remember, in the version 6th, we have inserted 5 records at a time, and we can see all that. There is no salary update and all those things. If I just go back and see the version 0 or version 1, you should get only one record there, one insert in that. You can see one insert. Okay, so you can just go back. So not only you can do version as of, you can go and do with the timestamp also. So that let me just check with the timestamp how it is. You need to give a timestamp. Instead of version, you can just state timestamp as of. I think you should put that in a double quotes. And let me go back to this one, this timestamp. I think you should pass that in a string. Let me check. You can do it in both the ways. Let me run this. Yeah, it should work. Yeah, so you can give a timestamp. Suppose if you're working on a regular daily or monthly or weekly ingestion, and if you want to check like based on the timestamp on this time what has happened and so on, you can see as of this timestamp we got 2 records. And there is one more cool feature actually that I found out later on. Like you can use a shortcut also. Like see, let's start from table. Here we have something called as a shortcut. Let me check. I'm not sure. Yeah, v at the rate of 1, that will version as of 1. Oh, yeah, I guess this is at like at the rate v1. Let me check this. Yeah, it should work now. Yeah, so it is not version at the rate 1 but at the rate v1. So this is a shortcut or a short form for the version as of. So this is how you can do a time travel with this delta. All because of this part files and all because of this delta logs. If you are saving your table to a parquet file, if you are specifying like here when you are creating a table, if you are using parquet file, you will get a same table, but there are no delta logs created. If there are no delta logs, you cannot do time travel and check what has happened before. That's all about the internals of the delta table. Thank you for watching this, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe to my channel. Keep learning.